Hi, third grade friends. I'm here with our next math daily challenge form, and today we're going to be working with equivalent fractions. So in that word equivalent, make sure we're remembering what we already know in our schema about this word and the word equal that belongs inside of it. So as I said, today we're going to work on making simple equivalent fractions, and we're also going to be able to explain why and how two fractions are equivalent or equal. Not to forget the things we've been working on with fractions, we're still going to work on making sure we can partition or break apart the shapes so that they have equal parts, and comparing the fractions with number lines with our greater than and less than symbols, our same denominators, and our same numerators. So we're continuing our comparison skills and moving on to also be able to notice equivalent fractions. So as you might remember from back when we were in the classroom, equivalent fractions are fractions that are equal. So it's two or more different fractions that have the same amount or the same quantity. So if we look at these examples here, right, 2/6 and 1/3 are equivalent fractions. The reason that they are equivalent is because if you look at the picture, right, both of the quantities or the amounts of brownies or pizza or whatever are exactly the same. Even if they're broken up differently, they are still the same amount. Okay, they have another example here with not just one fraction, but three equivalent fractions. So in this case, 1/2, 2/4, and 3/6 are all equivalent fractions because if you look, you're getting the same amount in each piece. Even if it's broken up into more pieces, right? You're either getting one big piece of pizza, two pieces that equal that big piece, or even smaller, breaking it into three. Either way, though, you're always getting that same amount. That's what makes them equivalent. So I just have a couple more examples here looking at how the shading is the same amount, but the pieces are different. So in this case, both of these fractions are equivalent. I'm getting the same amount of pizza. However, this pizza is split into 4 and this pizza is only split into 2. So that tells me that 2/4 is equal or equivalent to 1/2. Okay, let's do a couple practice ones here. So if I'm looking at this first side, 4/6, 4 pieces out of the 6 is equal to how many out of the 3? Well, I'm seeing that there are 2 shaded in, so that tells me 2/3. So 4/6 is equivalent to 2/3. Okay, 4/6, again, you'll notice this time it's a little bit different. It's in the shape of a circle, but it's the same fraction. And that's equivalent to 2/3. That's what we just did over on the example before. It just looks a little bit different. Okay, this pan of brownies down here is split into 8 pieces, and it's showing me 6 of those 8 pieces. Now I can see the yellow amount is exactly the same in both of these. So even though this pan of brownies is split into 4, right, if I have 3 of those 4 pieces, it is the same amount. It's equivalent to 6/8. I really like this example here because this is showing me 8/8. We know as mathematical experts that if I have 8 of the 8 pieces, I have the whole thing. So my equivalent fraction here must be 4/4, showing that my numerator and my denominator are the same number, showing 1 whole. So 1 whole is equal or equivalent to 1 whole. Okay, here my pan of brownies is split into 10 small pieces, and I'm having 4 of those. In this section, my pan is only split into 5, and I'm having 2. That makes sense to me also, friends, because if I double 5, that gives me 10, and if I double 2, that gives me 4. So that mathematical thinking can help me remember what fractions are equivalent. Now, just before we go on to our challenge form for today, I have these equivalent fraction strips that I know that we used a lot in the classroom. And if you feel like that helps you to compare and to make equivalent fractions, then that could be something that you use. They're really easy to look up online, and we can also add them in our math choice board and our math Google form. But basically, you might remember when we were comparing Twizzlers, right? My whole is always the same amount. It runs the same all the way down the paper. However, the way that I break it apart is a little bit different, but using this can help me to see, right, 1/2 is equivalent or equal to 2/4, or 3/3 1/6 or 4/8. You can use this fraction strips page to help you when you go ahead to look at our equivalent fractions form and when you're going to be comparing fractions on your own and answering those questions. Thanks for joining me, mathematicians. Remember to never give up, to try your best. We believe in you. We miss you.